All right, Colin Fox, what's your take on the world from the last time I saw you? Has it melted?
I'm the only person who's not mentioned the B word since last we were in Gala Shields, right? And I don't mean the borders. I'm heartily sick of Brexit. I just want it to be over like everybody else, so we can get back to making the case for independence without being distracted by irrelevancies, quite frankly.
How do you think that's working?
Not well for us. This doesn't end well. It doesn't end well. I don't think this has not done the independence movement any good. I mean, I fundamentally, I think one of our problems, whether people are identifying it or not, is we have a message that we want to have our independence, complete self-determination from London, from Westminster, from the British state. But apparently some of us want to give it all back to Brussels in the blink of an eye. It's contradictory, it doesn't make sense. I want to be free. I want to be self-determined Scotland, able to make its own decisions without being encumbered by neoliberal policies driven by Brussels. And, you know, an even more anti-democratic, centralised state than the one we're trying to escape from. This doesn't end well. We've got to separate the issues, and the sooner Brexit's over, the sooner we can make a stronger economic case for independence, because our case for independence is nowhere near good enough. I blanch when I see in the National Andrew Wilson extolling the virtues of Martin Gilbert, the recently departed Chief Executive of Aberdeen Asset Management. That's not the independence I'm looking for, Comrade Wilson. It's the exact opposite direction from that. Andrew Gilbert represents all that's wrong, not the future.
So, I mean, really, I find it very difficult to comprehend how we've got ourselves into a situation where Boris Johnson has been elected the Prime Minister by a very few people in the country, a very select band of people, and yet he's got this seemingly enormous power. And this idea of him not granting the Section 30 order, I mean, how do you think we should go about that?
Well, first of all, the issue of Boris Johnson being the Prime Minister elected by a handful of people, I'm afraid that's the norm. You know, David Cameron, Tony Blair was elected by a handful of people too.
And certainly by nobody in Scotland.
Yeah, what's more worrying, and worrying's an understatement, is Boris Johnson is presenting a narrative to the UK population saying it's a choice in this general election between the people and the Parliament. And he's right, but the terrifying thing for us in Scotland is the people in this case are Dominic Cummings, they're Boris Johnson. He's presented himself as the anti-establishment, the outsiders, the people fighting for freedom. And we are supposed to be the insiders. We're the Parliament, we're the Remainers, the extreme Remainers. We've been shafted truly in that circumstances. I'm a socialist, I'm with the people. I refuse to be presented with a parliamentary elite who refused to accept the 2016 European referendum election. I voted to remain. We lost. Go over it. Socialists are good at losing. We come to terms with democratic decisions quite readily. Other people apparently don't like losing because they're too keen on winning.
And what do you think about the pirouette that Jackson Carlaw made this last week?
Jackson who? Is he the guy who was upstairs, downstairs? No, it was Gordon Jackson. You can give a monkeys about Jackson Carlaw. He's irrelevant. The Tories are irrelevant in Scotland. I mean, nobody seems to have spotted that Ruth Davidson is no more. I mean, she was no more when she was here. She was a nothing entity. She represents Edinburgh Central still. I mean, the Tories don't worry me. They're bogus in Scotland. I think we've got enough problems of our own without inventing some. The independence movement has not gone forward since 2014, since we lost that referendum. We've not really come to terms with why we lost it either. We lost it because our economic case wasn't good enough, and we have to do better. And yet some people would peddle one that's even worse. So we've got big problems of our own. I'd rather be focused on solving our own challenges than solving somebody else's that we could care less about.
Thank you, Colin.
Pleasure, always.